Welcome to another episode of the Bethesda Brothers Podcast. I am the KingFanMan, joined as always with my partner in crime, Joey Caps Gaming, or as I call him, Brother Joe. How you doing, Brother Joe?
King, I'm doing great. It was my birthday a few days ago.
Happy birthday.
I'm a year older, but I'm feeling good.
Maybe you'll catch me one of these days.
What? Yeah, I don't know. You got many, many years ahead of me.
Hey, wait. Don't take away one of those minis.
Yeah. King, how are you?
I'm doing great as well. Christmas was great.
Yeah.
New Year's was great. Yeah. I'm ready to get going in 2025.
I can't believe that.
Yes. And we're going to talk about Bethesda in 2025 and 2026. And the topic today may be a little negative, but it could be positive. Sure. The question, it's just a question. Is the Elder Scrolls and Fallout in danger? You look at what's been going on, the pattern that's been going on with Bethesda. It's kind of been a downward trend at Bethesda with the games lately. They really hit a peak with Skyrim. I mean, I think everybody could say that. That was the pinnacle. That was the peak.
1,000%. 1,000%, yeah.
And since then, even though Fallout 4 was a good game, great game, it had its detractors. And then, of course, 76 with the launch, and they went out of their comfort zone. And now with Starfield having, I think it's mostly mixed reviews now, I believe, if you look on Steam. What is the future of Bethesda? What is the future of the Elder Scrolls and Fallout? I was talking before the podcast with you. I truly believe that the Elder Scrolls, this game that's coming up, is the most important game that Bethesda has ever made.
100, King, 100%. And when you look back, right, when you look back at Fallout 4, okay, that came out almost 10 years ago now, almost 10 years ago.
Well, it is 10 years now, isn't it? 2015.
In November it will be. It'll be a full 10 years. But when looking back at that game, it got its own corner of hate, right? People bashed it and talked down about it and just talked poorly about the game. But when you reflect and when you compare it to 76 and Starfield, it makes it look, it makes Fallout 4 look a lot better. And I really enjoyed Fallout 4 a lot. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I love Fallout 4. But we were frustrated, not we, just the general community was frustrated with the direction that they were taking Fallout 4. Well, have they improved since? Like, overall, have they improved since? No, I don't think so. You could make the argument that it's gone down ever since their overall body of work. With 76, that launch was a mess. Wastelanders saved it. And then it just seemed like they fell asleep at the wheel ever since Wastelanders. I'm sorry, the Brotherhood of Steel content was okay, but it's Wastelanders. They did such a fantastic job, and they could never follow that after that. So then now, as of late, it's like, the game's been out for what? Almost 7 years now?
Yeah.
We just got pets. Just got it. So I'm not trying to talk down about the game. I really enjoy 76. But when you just think about it, from where they were with Fallout 4, we wanted them to fix or to change their direction with Fallout 4. Like, we wanted them to change how they executed that game, and okay, they're going to improve in the future. Well, the future, you had 2 more games and not as good as Fallout 4.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they're just not. So it's, I'm not trying to talk bad about Bethesda, but at the same time, we thought you were going to rebound and come out with a killer game in Starfield. And for a lot of people, they were very, 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 and still are disappointed. That DLC, you could have saved the dang game with that DLC. And the popular opinion is what? It's not very good. Far Harbor for Fallout 4 was great. Everybody loved it at release. It's not like, the heart grew fonder over time. No, that's not what happened. It was good at release.
Absolutely.
So it's, is Fallout 4 and is Fallout and Elder Scrolls in danger? I think that's a very, very, very fair question, just judging on what's been happening in these past few years.
Right.
All the people that have left the company.
Yes.
Who've worked on those games. So it makes you a little, it's like, can they even make the Elder Scrolls or Fallout that we once fell in love with? Like, is that even possible to even happen or to be made anymore? I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, maybe I don't want to know. Maybe I don't want to try to find it because it scares me. King, very fair question. Thinking and even assuming that Fallout 4 and Elder Scrolls could be potentially in danger because Elder Scrolls 6 has to save the reputation. It just has to.
Yeah. Well, that was what I was saying too. Let me say something real quick. You used a sports analogy the other day, and I want to say that right off the bat. We're called the Bethesda Brothers. We're not bashing Bethesda at all. But when you're fans of a company, and we are, I've been fans of Bethesda since Morrowind. You can be realistic about that company. I'm fans of the Arkansas Razorbacks, but I can yell at them when they don't score. And it's the same thing here. We can talk realistically about what's going on at Bethesda. Speaking of Morrowind, I believe it was Morrowind that Todd Howard talks about that saved the company Bethesda. They literally had to have that game be a success for the company to be saved. Well, I'm not speaking hyperbole when I say I truly believe this next Elder Scrolls game is more important than Morrowind. Because the reputation, and you mentioned Bethesda's reputation, their reputation has gone so far down since Skyrim because of Fallout 4 first, then because of 76, and now with Starfield. What happens if they have another Starfield or Fallout 76 with the Elder Scrolls?
Yeah.
What happens to the company?
I know. I just think that it isn't what it wants.
And then, Joe, you got to remember Todd Howard's not going to be there very long. Then what do you have?
Think about this, though, King. Think about this. The Fallout IP has produced some amazing content within the past year. What was that? The Fallout TV show.
Yeah.
Who oversaw that? Todd Howard. Now, I'm not saying he's not overseeing the Fallout franchise right now, but I have no idea if he is. No clue. And Indiana Jones, that's a solid game, right?
It's a great game.
He oversaw the game. He oversaw that game. So I'm not saying Todd Howard is the guy who could come in here and swoop in and save it because he doesn't work on the games in that way anymore, and he hasn't for years. Like, I totally get that. But at the same time, they're still showing that you could still get a lot out of the Fallout franchise, and now they just have to deliver on a brand new title. Because with 76, I think for me, it's a little too far gone. In my opinion, the time to capitalize with 76 was when the TV show came out.
So much potential. Yeah.
And I don't think they did that. So much wasted potential. And King, what you said earlier, we're not coming at Bethesda that, like, I'm not coming at them like, oh, I hate them and I think they stink. I love Bethesda Game Studios. I love them. They're my favorite developer. Absolutely. And no one even comes close. They're my favorite. So it breaks my heart when they're not producing. I'm a New York Giants fan, football fan. They stink. So just because I'm a fan of them doesn't mean I'm not going to tell you that they don't
You can
stink.
be honest, yeah.
They stink. Bethesda Game Studios has been stinking recently. Unfortunately, they have been.
We want the Skyrim days back.
Skyrim,
Okay,
Fallout 3.
honest question. With all the departures that have happened, is there enough core there?
King, that's what I was saying earlier. I don't know if there is.
The only and this is the positive I take. I want you to think about this really. Look at Starfield for a minute. There are so many things with Starfield, and be honest. I don't even care if you hate the game. Be honest. There are so many things with Starfield they did good. There's a lot with that game. The ship building is great. The ship flying is good. I mean that's something that Bethesda's never done. There was so many things with that game that was good. Of course, we know what the problems were, but it was totally out of Bethesda's comfort zone. Same thing with Fallout 76. There's a lot good with Fallout 76, but it's another game that's out of their comfort zone.
You know what, King, though?
We're going right back to their comfort zone, though, is what I'm saying with the Elder Scrolls.
But the thing, I agree 1,000%, and this is the issue when you're coming out with games and there's gaps. There's a lot of gaps there, right? That's when, because if you put out a dud, you have to live and dwell on that dud for a long time.
Yeah, it's like the last game of the season, huh?
Yeah, and then you put out another game, and that's a dud. So now you have 2 duds in a row.
Yeah,
that's what happened. And some people would even call Fallout 4 a dud. No. But what did they do with Fallout 4? Far Harbor, they swooped in, they put out some great content with Far Harbor. I also love Nuka World. Even 76 went in and added Wastelanders.
Wait, I've got to say something about Fallout 4. What did they do to Fallout 4 with the update?
What?
The new update with Fallout 4, and I think they've just given up on that. They literally destroyed
brand new update that they just came out with.
They destroyed the game. They destroyed the game, and they've just given up on it. They left it. We haven't heard anything. That's what's scaring everybody. Everything they're touching right now is just
so bad. It's so bad, King. That's why. Do you know what? Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest here, right? This is an honest show.
Yeah.
Look what's behind me. Look at all that. What is it? For the most part, it's all New York Yankee stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's not an accident. I had my gaming channel, Joey Caps Gaming, and I'll forever love it, and I want to work on it. I love that channel. That's my baby. But Bethesda wasn't giving us enough when it came to their franchises. So what did I do? I had to pivot. I made a Yankees channel. Incredibly successful. They're the New York Yankees, of course, the biggest sports team in the world. But that goes to show you somebody who loves Fallout as much as I do. And I love Fallout. It's my favorite game ever. I had to pivot. My aspirations, my goals, I had to change them.
Yeah.
And I made the right move. I did. I don't regret that. And I could go back to the gaming channel, but why? Why did I make that move? You know, we deserve better, King.
We do.
Bethesda Game Studios fans deserve better.
We do.
Paying money. People pay money for Fallout First with 76 every single year, $100 every year $100.
Well,
We're paying
some would say that's the problem, that we
the
should
merchandise.
stop giving them money.
Exactly, the merchant, and they're just taking advantage. It's almost like going to a sports game, going to a Yankee game or a Razorback game, going to and eating, well, more so a pro team, going to a Steelers game, if you will, and spending hundreds of dollars on concessions and merch and all that stuff. Well, you want them to put that money back into the team, right?
Yes.
So Bethesda, what are we doing? Microsoft, maybe it's Microsoft's the problem. I don't know. What's the problem? So it's a very fair question to ask. Is Fallout and Elder Scrolls in danger? And with Elder Scrolls 6, I agree, King. They're going back to their comfort zone, but who is still there that's in that comfort zone? Nate Perkopile's gone. He was such a big part Skyrim, such a big part Fallout 3, such a big part creating Fallout 4. He's gone. So what do we have? Do you know what I mean?
I do.
They have to prove us wrong. Go out, spend some money on the team, improve the team, and shut us up. But please.
Joe,
maybe an Oblivion remake is on the way, King. Yes. That's what we think. Then Elder Scrolls 6, then a Fallout remake. They would save themselves if they did that. Maybe that's the plan.
If they're any good.
What happened?
See, I, Mr. Positive, am even wondering if they're going to be any good because we've been so disappointed as of late.
I know, it stinks.
I know it.
But they have their last golden opportunity, and I'm calling it a golden one because you're sitting on a couple of IPs that are mainstream successes in Fallout and Elder Scrolls. Go and get it done. Go and get it done. Save your company. Please. I'm begging you. Please save them.
Used to, Joe, anything they did, I don't care what it was, I was excited. Anything.
King, I know.
Now, it's like, it gives me anxiety.
It gives you anxiety.
Because I hope it's good. I want to be excited.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, King.
But we know what's happened. Well, they're bigger than they've ever been, but that don't matter.
I mean, it doesn't matter. The quality stinks.
The quality has gone down.
The quality stinks.
Quality has gone down.
And I want, they saved their company with Morrowind.
Yep.
They saved, and not a lot of people want to talk about this. They saved the Fallout franchise. Interplay completely ruined that franchise. They annihilated it. They saved it. And what Interplay did to the franchise, Bethesda hasn't done that kind of damage to it. They haven't. But they've done some damage, and it stinks because with 76, a lot of people really enjoyed Wastelanders. Like, they enjoyed it a lot. And then with the dumbed down scoreboard, now seasons, they did not capitalize with the hype of the TV show.
That's big. Shame. They didn't have nothing. Nothing
and that
ready.
Fallout 4 update, King, you said it. That Fallout 4 update
destroyed the game.
Completely dropped the ball with that.
Yep.
And they haven't fixed it. So, like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Well,
we're gonna spend another $100 on Fallout first again.
But it goes back to I don't understand even a lot of this goes, and I guess you can go right to Todd Howard, I guess, management, because let's just talk about some of the decisions. You go back to the TV show, they knew it was coming, and Phil Spencer and Todd Howard both said, well, we didn't think it was going to be that well received, so we didn't have anything ready. What?
A big. It's not like the franchise never made like almost $1 billion within a day. Like it's not like it's never done that. It's not like it's ever done that. Fallout 4 made $750 million day one.
I mean,
And they weren't expecting the TV show to come on. I haven't felt this way in a while.
You go back to Starfield. I gave you this quote before the podcast. Todd Howard said it took 7 years for them to find the fun in Starfield because there is no game loop in Starfield. The I can't spit it out. Exploration is not like a Bethesda game. They messed the exploration up. You run into the same places over and over and over. They had to have seen that. Of course they saw that.
Yeah.
Todd said they had to look for the fun. You shouldn't have to look for fun in a game. It should hit you right in the face.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means, Ken. I don't even know. I don't even know what that means. I have no idea what that means.
Do you not remember Todd saying the more you put into Starfield, the more Starfield will give you?
I get you. No, I get it. It doesn't mean it makes sense.
No.
You could say the grass is blue, the grass is blue, the grass is blue, the grass is blue. That's not going to make it make sense.
No,
that makes zero sense, and it's not true.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Real quick, the KingCast Saturday, I covered this, but I do want to mention it. There is a rumor out there that there is a code-altering update coming to Starfield this year. Yeah. We're talking about the future of Bethesda. We have the Oblivion remake coming. Can they right the ship? Do you think, and I know what we've said about Starfield, is it a done deal with Starfield, or can they help it?
It's never a done deal if you... I don't think anything's ever dead until you say it's dead. Like, until they tell me we're done working on Starfield, all right, it's dead. But as soon as they say, hey, we're making more content, and that content could potentially save this stinking game.
But again, another decision to give one DLC in the first year and really not much in way of updates. Let me give y'all this code altering update, what they're talking about doing with it. Number one, they're going to overhaul the space gameplay. It's going to be much more dynamic, less predictable. You're going to run into more contacts when you're flying into space. So that sounds good. Number two, they're going to rework Starfield's economy, provide more financial opportunities and progression. So,
is that what you heard? Did you hear all this?
Yeah, this is part of this is part of the rumor about the code altering update that's coming to Starfield.
Gotcha.
Number three, they're going to fundamentally change the way loading screens work. Now, I do know this. Nate Perkopile, I've listened to his interview about 100 times now, because we just did a thing on the KingCast about the Unreal Engine. You know, he was wanting to change Bethesda to the Unreal Engine. But he said he worked on the City Neon. He was working on the City Neon when he left. And he said there were not all those loading screens. You know, all the loading screens in Neon? He says those weren't there. And he actually made Neon. He was the one that made the City Neon. Wow. He said those loading screens weren't there when he left. He don't know why they put them there.
What a shame.
You know, there's literally loading screens inside the city. It don't matter which way you go outside the main strip, you're going to run into loading screens. I'm sure they did that to try to cut back on bugs. Anytime you reduce the size of instancing spaces, you reduce the chance of bugs. So I'm sure that's what they did. So obviously they can take those loading screens out because, like you said, they weren't there. So, and then finally, in this update, they want to change the AI behavior both in enemy and friendlies to make it a better immersive experience. And I also remember Todd Howard talking about that for the longest time they had the AI very intelligent and that they dumbed it down right before launch. They dumbed down the AI right before launch.
Why?
He said it. He said he thought it helped the gameplay. It didn't make it as hard.
Well,
Bethesda's philosophy, and this is what I wanted to go in at the end. I think Bethesda's philosophy right now, one of the main things that is hurting Bethesda with the people that remain, Todd Howard, Emil Pagliaro, their philosophy is simplicity. It really is. They want the writing simple. They want the combat simple. They want the AI simple. Emil actually says, keep it simple, stupid, KISS, the old KISS method. That's his philosophy in writing. And he's over all the writing. So if they're dumbing down the AI, they're dumbing down the writing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like what I'm hearing, King. I don't like it.
This is part of the problem. So again, these are management decisions.
Yeah.
Those have to change.
I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it.
No.
That's disgusting. I don't want to be like dramatic, but it is. You don't want to hear that.
No. Don't get depressed. Don't get down.
You told me not to, King, and like I really can't help it. Unbelievable.
Yep. So I really think the Bethesda's philosophy right now, the management philosophy, is getting in the way, and that is putting the Elder Scrolls and Fallout in danger. I don't want simple. I don't want simple writing. I don't want simple combat.
I don't even care. I just want a good game.
But you're never going to get the choice that you get with an Obsidian game with Emil's writing, ever.
I just want a good game.
Don't you want some choice in the RPG?
I want a good game.
I know. But I think
what about, listen, Outer Worlds 2 is coming out this year.
But they just don't have the world building that a Bethesda game has. That's why New Vegas was so perfect. It had Bethesda's world and Obsidian's writing.
But why did they have Bethesda's world? Is because Bethesda gave them their
assets.
Yeah,
because they were using Bethesda's
They got to do the same.
Yeah.
They just have to do the same.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Or Bethesda needs to change their dadgum writing or the management decisions about their writing. We don't need to keep it simple.
I don't know, King. Let's just
let me give you another one. Management decision in Starfield. And I told you this one before the podcast. You know how when you go to planets in Starfield, you run into the same 2 or 3 buildings every time on planets?
Yeah.
That is because they made a decision that, they are not just randomly, they don't just randomly show up. They are on a percentage scale. They're like common to super rare points of interest. So the common ones are the ones you're going to run into most of the time. There are super rare points of interest that most people have never seen in Starfield.
It's like, the game isn't a card game, right? So, for example, in Pokemon, there's Pokemon card game came out. And there's, your common cards, but then there's your like ultra rare cards. That style of gameplay works for that. Starfield isn't a card game.
No.
That style of gameplay is awful.
They should have made it completely random, so it felt like you were going to different places all the time.
Yeah, I agree. I know.
They made the exploration, which is one of the most important things in a Bethesda game, they made it feel so repetitive, so grindy, so blah. And I think that is one of the main problems with Starfield.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, Starfield does so many things right. But one of the most important things about a Bethesda game is exploring. Remember what Todd said? You explore different in Starfield. What did he mean by that?
I don't know. What did he mean?
He means you don't run around and try to find things on your own like you normally do.
You gotta dig. You gotta dig. You gotta dig.
That's right. You gotta work at it.
I don't want to work. I'm playing a video game. I don't want to work.
You gotta work at it.
I already work.
You gotta work at it.
I don't want to work at it, Todd.
So let's conclude this podcast. Let's answer the question: is Fallout 5 and the Elder Scrolls? What are we at now? 6?
6.
Are they in danger? I would say yes, they're in danger.
1,000%. Yeah, but they're not. They're not.
But I don't think they're a lost cause.
No. I don't listen. I don't unless I see or hear that they're done with the franchises. They're not a lost cause. Or unless I don't know.
I think Todd has to know how much is riding on this upcoming game.
You would think. Maybe he does.
And I at least think the Elder Scrolls is very, very, very special to him. Even more so than Fallout.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his baby.
Yeah.
So if we're ever going to get a good game again.
But then what did they do to his baby, though, King? What did they do? They came out with the ESO, with this on. Listen, I heard it was good, but it's good for a specific crowd. Yeah. And I'm not sure if that crowd was the crowd that plays Skyrim and that played Oblivion.
Yeah. Oh, it's totally
I don't know
different.
if it was for them.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's his baby. So it's like, prove us wrong. Put out a good game. That's all I'm asking. That's all. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Depression has set in with Joey Cap. I didn't mean to depress you, Joe.
Man, I want to make content again, though. What I want to do. Make Bethesda content again.
Well, I think we may see that Elder Scrolls game sooner rather than later. I'm still thinking maybe next year.
So all right. Let's close this out after this.
Okay.
There's a rumor. The same person that reported on the Oblivion remake.
Mm-hmm.
They also said that Xbox is preparing for their next gen
generation
console next year.
Yeah.
Well, what better launch title
Amen.
than Elder Scrolls 6?
Yep.
We'll see.
Yep.
We'll see.
Hey, give me a high five on that one. That's great.
Bam! Baby. Yeah!
Joey Caps, thank you for being here. If y'all have not subscribed to Joey Caps Gaming, please go down in the description below and subscribe to him, his gaming channel, and his Dang Yankee channel. If you like baseball, it will be down there as well. If you haven't subscribed to me, what are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe. That button is right here somewhere, one of these corners. It's down here. But
it's over there.
We appreciate you being here. I am the KingFanMan. He is Joey Caps. We will see you next time. Bye, guys.